my name is Amar, and I'm associated with UniNets. I think it's a 4 year now. Okay. Overall, I have 15 plus experience, and I have experience on different technology. Okay. So I'm working professional, and I have experience on the firewall. I have experience on the proxy technology. I have experience on load balancing. Okay. And I have experience on cyber security. So if we talk about the firewall, so I do have experience on Check Point, Palo Alto, ASA, 48. So all these firewalls I have experience. Okay.
Okay.
And on load balancer, so I have experience on F5 and Citrix cloud technology. So I do have experience on uh, AWS and Azure. Okay. Further, and let's talk about the firewall. So you know what is the firewall. So basically firewall is a one of the network security device which filter the traffic based on layer 7 right now, layer 7 or layer 3 or layer 4 technology. Okay. So that's a firewall. So here we are going to discuss types of firewall. So basically we have two types of firewall. One is the host-based firewall and other is a network-based firewall. So host-based firewall is a, we can say this is a software-based firewall and which would be protecting a single system. For example, we have Windows firewall or antivirus firewall or IP table in Linux. So these are the host-based firewall. But if we talk about network-based firewall, so that firewall is protecting entire network. Okay. When I say entire network, that means it would be deployed on any central location of the network or maybe edge location of the network, and it would be protecting whole network. So we have different technology in network-based firewall and different types of development of these firewall. So we have earlier we have packet-based filter firewall. I mean, which was doing the filter packet based on the layer 3 information based on the IP address. The next technology came and in firewall, and that firewall was stateful packet filtering firewall, which was filtering the packet on layer 3 and layer 4 basis. That means it can maintain the session table, and it was filtering the packet based on the IP address and port number. And then we have application aware firewall came, which is filtering the packet based on layer 2 to layer 7. Okay, so Checkpoint is sitting over here. Checkpoint is the application based filtering firewall. So it can filter the traffic based on the application. Okay, so whether we talk about Checkpoint or we talk about Palo Alto, okay, Checkpoint or Palo Alto, these are the firewall which would be filtering the traffic based on the application. That means it can work from layer 2 to layer 7. And then we have the web application firewall. And web application firewall is a different types of firewall. I mean, these are the firewall which would be especially designed to protect a web application. Okay. So you can take the example of F5 ASM mod security in Parva web. These are the web application firewall. Okay. So
what is F5 ASM?
This is F5 application security manager. Okay. So this is one of the WAF example, web application firewall.
F5 is a load balancer, right?
Yeah, so F5 had different product.
Yes.
F5 has LTM, DNS, WAF, APM.
Yeah. That's why I'm asking, because I heard about F5 LTM. So ASM is application security manager. Okay.
Right, application security manager. So this is a WAF. Okay. Now moving to next slide, and we will talk about here firewall protection. So we have different types of firewall doing the protection in the network. So you might know what all the protection is doing the firewall. So basically it is basic protection. It is mitigating unauthorized access. Okay. So how it is mitigating unauthorized access? Allowing the authorized traffic over the network, we can mitigate with the unauthorized access. So I can take example of unauthorized access. Okay, so let's say I have one of the system is over here. okay, and server as well in my network. And here I have a firewall. Okay, now on the firewall, let's say we have a different network segment. So this is one of the network segment, and there is another network segment which is we can consider over here. So we have some server over here, some bunch of server over here, and these are the one of the network. So let's say from this network, let's say this is my internal network, and this is a TMZ network. We will talk about what is DMZ, okay, later. But let's say from internal network, someone is trying to access what this server, which is located on TMZ. So what we can do, we can allow the required traffic which required to access this server. So only that traffic we can allow on the firewall rule list. Okay, and when we allow only specific traffic, if someone else trying to access, okay, the server would not be able to access. So that means by creating the ACL uh, or the rule entry, we can allow specific traffic and we can block the rest of the traffic. So that would mitigate unauthorized access to the network. So only authorized person who is allowed, they would be able to access the network. Same thing, it is also preventing from remote logging. So if someone is trying to log in on the system remotely, okay, and if we haven't allowed on the firewall, it won't be, firewall won't allow them to pass through that. And then it is blocking, protecting from the spam. Okay, so what happened on the firewall, we have different module, okay, for email security. So spam or email bombing is again blocked by the firewall if you have enabled the email security. So if you have any email server in your organization, against that server you can enable the email security. Okay, and when any spam mail is coming the network or email bombing is happening over the network, firewall would be able to detect that and would be able to block that. So that means your email server or exchange server would be remain safe. Next, firewall can block from the IP spoofing. So I hope you know the what is IP spoofing, which is also known as a man in the middle attack. So if someone is trying to spoof the packet and want to change the IP, and if there is a firewall, okay, so firewall would be able to block that. Okay, so in firewall we have one technology for IP spoofing. Okay, so which is known as a NT spoofing on firewall. So if someone is trying to modify the packet on the middle, I mean attacker, it won't be able to do that because firewall would be able to detect the spoofing and then it would be able to block that. Okay.
So I have a
So
question here. Shall I ask now or later?
yeah,
So
sure, you can.
it's like sandboxing kind of thing, or we can sinkhole that we have a firewall. This next generation firewall, we have the cloud internet, so it will get a, there is something trying to be hack our network. So we do have a get a signature and it is sent to all firewall like that and block
So first
the.
of all, yeah, let me just take, it's a bit different. Okay,
Okay,
I
okay,
would tell you.
okay.
IP spoofing, first of all, I would tell you the man in the middle attack, why it is known as the man in the middle attack, IP
Mm-hmm,
spoofing.
mm-hmm,
So you might know what is IP spoofing, but let me just re-explain this. So basically what happened, this is IP spoofing is one of the technique using which attacker can sniff the packet and can modify the packet header basically. So let's say this is the system which want to access internet. Okay, and let's say this is connected to switch. This is a switch. Further, it is connected to the router, and then it is going over the internet. Right now, there is no protection. This is going over the cisco.com. There is no protection. No firewall. Now what happened when this system is trying to send any information? Let's say it want to go over the cisco.com. So you know that these system are communicating based on the IP. First of DNS resolution happen, and then the system would put the IP on the packet, right? Source and destination IP. So let's say this system IP is 192.168.1.2, and this cisco.com IP you can consider that it has 2.3.4.8. Let's say this is the cisco.com IP. So what happened on the packet when this system would send the packet to the cisco.com? So it would be putting the information like this. First it would put the data, which is known as a payload, actual data. Let's say this system want to send hello, okay, to cisco.com. So it would put this data over here, and then it would put header. On header, what it is going to put? It is going to put network header, basically, and network layer header, and basically it is going to put source IP and destination IP. The packet would go to switch, okay. Switch will be forwarding the packet to router, and router would be sending the packet to cisco.com. So on source IP, it is putting this IP, and on destination IP, this system would put cisco.com IP. Now, this is the simple communication. Now, what if there is any machine is connected to this switch, and that machine is hacker's machine? Let's say this is a hacker, and now he came with the malicious intent, and now he's trying to uh, hack the traffic which is going from this system to cisco.com or anywhere, okay. So what it is trying to do, basically, the hacker would take this packet whenever the traffic is being sent by this system to cisco.com. Hacker is trying to sniff the packet. So what hacker would do? Hacker would use middle man in the middle attack technique, and using which it is going to modify the IP. So hacker would have also IP. Let's say hacker got IP on the network 192.168.1.100. Okay. So this is the hacker IP. Now when this packet is going to the switch, okay, this hacker has sniffed this packet, okay. And now what hacker did? Hacker has modified the traffic. And on the modification, what it has done, instead of source IP, this IP, the hacker replaced the IP, and he put the source IP his IP 192.168.1.100. He has replaced the IP. After replacing the source IP, he sent the packet to cisco.com. Now what happened when cisco.com is replying? It would be replying to which? It would go to router, and router know that the original traffic is generated by this one, but now it has replaced. So whom router is replying? Router would be replying to this machine, this hacker machine. So hacker would be able to see that what the communication happening between this system to the cisco.com, entire communication of this system, if the hacker is doing man in the middle attack, going via this system to the hacker machine, and from hacker machine it is going back to the cisco.com. So this would happen. So he would be able to see entire traffic that is passing through this system, okay. So this is a single system hacker is doing, but hacker can modify, hacker can issue multiple system, even though overall the network. Now we will talk about lab over here, and we will do some deployment. Let me just show that here you need to provide your phone number and then password. If you haven't, you can sign up and then you can log in. I would show you how a smart manager looks like. So how security gateway looks like. So I'm just turning off them on them. So this is what? This is a security gateway, which is your smart gateway. And this is a smart manager server. And this is one of the Windows system. Over here we have installed is smart console. So which kind of deployment we are using over here? Distributed or standalone?
Standalone.
No, this is distributed.
Sorry,
because you will see that, right, we have installed each component on different system. So this is distributed deployment.